True or false? You have a photographic memory and can remember just about every football play you've ever run.
I mean, I don't know how to say that truthfully, because I'd get tested and probably wouldn't remember something.
You mean like right now when I'm going to throw a question at you?
So I don't want to say yes because you're probably going to.
Okay. Cards 31, Packers 10. Playoff game. The Kurt Warner game.
Uh-huh.
You get the ball. 3rd down and 10 from your own 20. You're down 21, 3rd quarter. What happens on that play?
I mean, that's tough. I'm going to have to. We're down 10, we're coming out, so I either hit 3rd and 10.
See, nobody can remember this. This is my point. All right.
I have no idea. Do you have the answer?
Yeah.
Did it hit Greg Jennings on the backside in? Or
it was Finley for 18 yards.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Couldn't
Yeah,
say.
okay. That's an old wives' tale.
That's why I don't say yes. Exactly.
Would you rather have A- running backs and receivers, but a C- offensive line, or an A- offensive line with D- running backs and receivers?
A- offensive line.
Really? How come?
Because if you can protect the quarterback, you're going to have an opportunity to find guys open. The defense just can't cover for that long. So, and we can make Green Bay. We can make guys D-. We can bump them up to at least a C. So.
The QB club, though. You said you took stuff from people. Who else did you take stuff from?
Well, I like watching Peyton. You know, Peyton, I think, did a lot for the pre-snap for everybody. I mean, his ability
The Omaha stuff?
That was important. I think that's really interesting. The root of that is a timing mechanism where his offense can get off at the same time. And then the beauty and the brilliance of it is that it goes from that word to, you saw numerous times he would change it. He would have a code word that would mean that it wasn't coming on the Omaha.
Yeah.
It wasn't Omaha said, that was a dummy. And that was a beauty. You know, he doesn't take the chances that we do in Green Bay when we draw somebody off sides.
Yeah.
But his ability to manipulate that, I mean, their thing, I think, was if a guy jumped off sides, the offensive lineman would move and initiate contact, or just move to where you get the neutral zone of fraction, where we want to snap it and take a shot down the field. But the stuff he does pre-snap and his ability to the thing I loved about Peyton for years is, especially in Indy, is they would stay in a 2-by-2 set in any personnel group.
Yeah.
And they just said, Marvin would play one side and Reggie would play the other side. And they'd have, either 2 tight ends or a third receiver in the slot, and be able to run their entire offense out of that and not have motion or dilute it down with, trying to be a, offensive guru and create some incredible plays. Just our offense in 2-by-2 is going to be better than you can do. We're going to go to tempo where you just can't match it. And there's a lot to be said about that I've always tried to get in the minds of the decision makers in Green Bay, is that the simplest stuff is often the stuff that works best. And I always appreciate that about Peyton.
Well, the biggest things, I mean, you became the starting quarterback 2008.
Yep.
And over the last, I would say, 11, 12 years, really starting with when the Colts complained about the Patriots being too physical at the line of scrimmage, I think, which was in 04. And year after year, it became easier for quarterbacks. You had guys weren't getting jammed at the line. Guys aren't diving at your knees. So you had all that. Everything's shifting your way. And then on top of that, you have this huge advantage that if you guys can go to the line and be able to audible and read what you're seeing, you saw it with you saw it with Manning, saw it with Brady. That seems like the biggest advantage anybody could have in sports. And yet, last year, a team wins with defense. So I don't know what to make anymore. What do I make of this league?
It's cyclical. Things come back around, whether it's schematics or the advantages. And you saw for years where the offense had the ability to communicate through an earpiece, and the defense didn't, and that changed in 2008.
Yeah.
Where the stealing signals was out.
Yeah.
After that. And then you saw, obviously the rule changes have helped us out. But I think you've seen the last couple of years a little bit less of the enforcement. I think, I don't know what the numbers exactly are, but less of an enforcement of the illegal contact, pass interference to become more great. There's been more offensive pass interference. We created a play in Green Bay that involved the number 3 receiver run to the flat and number 1 and 2 blocking.
Yeah.
And it was a play to defeat zone coverage or to get us an easy out-of-bounds play. And that's been called very tightly because it's a copycat league. So, Cincinnati was doing it a bunch. Eli and Giants do it a ton.
Yeah.
It's been getting called a lot more with the offensive pass interference, even in gray areas. We got called last year. We were on a slant and a flat pattern. I threw it to the flat for a touchdown. The slant pattern was looking for the ball. James Jones runs into the defender inadvertently, and they called pass interference on us and wiped out the touchdown on that play, which is obviously very frustrating. But the root of it is they don't want the offense to be able to do those picks and get those extra advantages to try and equal things out. Now, defensive players would say, it's not even close. The rule changes, and I would agree to a certain depth, but I think they are trying to make it a little bit more balanced in little ways they can.
Have you played a game where you just felt like the defense knew every single thing you were saying at the line of scrimmage?
No, but with the way that we're mic'd up now, with the guards being mic'd up and you play a nationally televised game,
oh yeah,
they can hear every cadence you have. You have to constantly change those up. You have to change up the live words and the dummy words. Your cadence, I think it helps my cadence because we drop people off sides all the time.
Yeah.
When you have a non-rhythmic cadence, doesn't matter how many times you hear it, it's going to be different. A scout team quarterback is going to have a hard time replicating that during the week. To when you get in the game, the adrenaline starts going. It's a big play, a big third down. You can kind of sense it when they're going to jump off sides. It's just a matter of our guys being able to have the
discipline. You can see it in their eyes? How do you sense it?
Well, you can just kind of feel it, I think.
Yeah.
This is when it's a big third down, whether it could be in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, there's kind of some areas between the 40s a lot of times. You're almost in the field goal range where you just have an idea this could be a play where they jump off sides, so then you do that. Or you do the flip side, where if it's ingrained in their mind so many times, they're talking about all week in the media, like, we got to stay on sides, and you go on first sound.
Yeah.
And then you can get that little extra advantage of getting the ball snapped before they're ready.
People always talk about how calm you are out there, which is was always the famous story about Joe Montana in the Super Bowl. We saw John Candy, Tom Brady's like that. Does a quarterback have to be cool? Can a quarterback be hyper and still be good at being quarterback?
I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys who have some streaks.
Hyper?
Maybe not hyper, but animated, yeah.
But it seems like everybody's it's almost like how golfers are. There's a certain calmness that you need to have, because I'm sure there's huddles where you're down 3, you're on the road, everybody's getting all the momentum's against you, the crowd's going crazy, and you have these 10 other guys, and they're just looking at you, and they're seeing if you're scared. Do you feel that?
For sure, you do. But I think the thing about leadership is you have to understand the guys you're working with. And not everybody responds to the same type of leadership. So some guys, you need to kind of jump their ass a little bit and get on them. And some guys, you got to give them a pass and pat them on the ass, say, hey, it's fine.
You mean if you jump their ass, they'll be hurt? Their feelings will be hurt?
Well, some guys maybe.
Yeah.
But some guys, they need that. Maybe they respond better to that type of energy and criticism. So, it depends. I think you can be more of an amped up guy if you got a younger team that responds better to yelling at them or, ripping their ass in the huddle. Our guys are a lot more laid back, I would say, and kind of taking on more my demeanor, where we know what we have to do to be successful.
Yeah.
And no yelling or showing a guy up on the field or showing a guy up in the huddle or on the sidelines is really going to help us accomplish what we want to accomplish, and that's being efficient and winning football games. So, we have a good feel. I think it starts with the offensive line and kind of trickles down to the skill positions.
What do you think, if there's one thing people you wish they knew about the quarterback position, either how hard it is or some little fact that you just don't feel like they know, what is it?
That's tough because we talk about it so much. They know everything about it. They hear everything that we say.
So you feel like you're overexposed. Maybe that's the answer.
Well, yeah.
People know too much
not
about
yet.
your
I think the
position.
next thing is when they put the camera in your helmet, and then they see exactly what you're looking at every time. But I think at times people have said, and it's a compliment, that I make it look easy, or it looks too easy out there. And I just try and remind them it's not easy. It's tough to do what we do. It takes a lot of preparation. I've always said that we win games between Monday and Saturday.
Yeah.
The way you prepare allows you to play with that confidence in the field. People, why are you so calm on the field or confident? It's because I've played out every scenario from Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
So when I get out there, I'm not surprised a lot. I think if you ask, the great ones, you ask Tom and Drew and Peyton, they'd say the same thing. You're winning games through your preparation during the week.